this week on the Bubble Chat.
You know, it leaves the opportunity to see justice had on her behalf. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth shall be told. And it's also kind of interesting that they indicating something gang related, because that to me sounds like a deterrence.
Something blame it on something or fall in where the chips may lay.
The healthiest thing to do is stop trying. Don't talk to each other. Don't even mention each other. Just move the fuck on. They're both too talented and too successful to keep wasting energy on something that's never going to be resolved.
Now listen, I like Bad Bunny. I don't know what he says because I'm not bilingual, but I know him when I am. He is like an audio Beyonce or Jay-Z. I know Bad Bunny when I hear Bad Bunny.
They need to just do a whole run where they do a series of Black women being on the show. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you know what? They've had several Black women on the show. Like they had, what's her name? Megan Thee Stallion, because
that's her dad. Yeah.
But it's also affecting her, you know, directly and indirectly. So we have to consider that. Like, imagine she's an adult, but imagine this is happening to a child, like somebody who has a younger child. You know what I'm saying? That passed away. So it's just like it's the same thing. You still have to hold space.
To another episode of the Bubble Chat. I am so excited to have you all tuned in today, whether you're listening from your car, your couch, or on your morning walk. Thank you for popping in with us. This is the show where we dive into the hottest topics, the craziest headlines, and everything trending in pop culture, entertainment, and beyond. If it's buzzing online, you know we're talking about it right here inside the bubble.
Before we get into today's stories, we've got to take a moment to say that we hope that you Swiffers, cleaning wipes, Swifties out there. Yes, I'm talking to you too, nephew. Absolutely loving Taylor Swift's new album. The internet has been going wild, and honestly, it's no surprise. Lies. Taylor Swift never misses. She does. Wherever you've been decoding her lyrics or crying over those bridges again, like always, because she can't sing. This one feels special, likely not. We'll definitely be breaking it down in an upcoming episode, so please stay tuned for that. And pardon my sarcasm when we do go over it.
Now, if you're new to the Bubble Chat, here's the vibe. We keep it real, we keep it fun, and we keep it conversational. Think of it as your group chat coming to life, where no topic is off limits and every opinion counts. From celebrity drama and viral moments to heartwarming news and social media chaos, we bring it all together with laughs, hot takes, and a little bit of tea. You better clock that tea.
Well, this week we've got a lot stacked. This week we've got a lot stacked up. This week, we've got a stacked lineup for you. Story that had everyone talking, a few that might make you raise your eyebrow, and even some feel-good moments to balance it all out. Plus, we've got a new segment debuting later on in the show that you will not want to miss. So grab your drink, get comfortable. Let's jump right the fuck in because it's time for the bubbles to burst and get the popping with the ladies.
Poppin'.
And as the late gossip queen would say, how you doing?
How you doing?
That's right. All right, bubblers. Today we're diving into a serious and complicated story that has been making headlines. The discovery of a 15-year-old Celeste Rivas body in a registered car to singer
David.
Okay, thank you. Because I was going to say, what is the boy doing? Okay, David, and whether he is being treated as a suspect. As you all know, Celeste Rivas has been missing since 2024, and on September 8th, authorities found her decomposed body in the car that was towed from a lot in Los Angeles. The car was registered under David's name. However, the LAPD has not officially named him as a suspect, partly because the medical examiner has not yet determined the cause or the manner of the death, making it unclear whether it was a homicide or accidental death all in the same. Investigators have collected the evidence from the home where David had been staying, and the car wasn't reported stolen. Meanwhile, online fans, theorists, have been explaining his lyrics for hints or hidden confessions. Oh my God. His manager has even posted a public statement saying that David had no knowledge of the matter and denying involvement. The case is still open, and authorities say that they are following all leads. What piece of evidence would change your mind, and what are the risks of jumping to conclusions too early? Well, we learned from OJ, okay? We learned from OJ. You just can't just be throwing things out there. They were just throwing all kind of conspiracies and theories about what OJ did, and he did not do it. Now, this is what it is.
What is it?
He was working out of the country. He was nowhere near in or around the car. I would assume that around the time of her being in the car. You can smoke on the film. It's okay. About her being, she's trying to be smoke friendly. So what I'm saying is the car is registered to him. So you got to think, okay, so let's say I had a car and I gave it to you, but you never got a chance to put it or register into your name, right? And somehow you ended up leaving the car in the lot and it got towed, or maybe the car ended up being stolen. And we don't even know because I'm on the road.
And it's still registered.
You see what I'm saying? I'm on the road, and you have found other means of transportation, but this car somewhere has just kind of slipped into the wind, and it's in the parking lot, and God forbid that.
But it's interesting how they talk about the lyrics.
The lessons in the trunk. All right, now listen. Now, then this is where the theory comes in. Now, just because why can't he make a song and you're just trying to connect the dots? Now, I ain't never heard the boy song. I don't know who the hell David is. But I would hope that he ain't talking about, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say that we're going to pray for the Rivas family.
Yes,
and
definitely.
we're going to hope that we figure out what happened and there will be some form of justice. Yes, and there will be some form of justice.
There's something about this David and Celeste Rivas case that I just can't stop thinking about, because the whole situation feels unsettling. And according to sources close to TMZ, it's being said that David and Celeste may have been romantically involved. And I don't really know for sure if that's the case, but that's already a huge red flag. I mean, considering the fact that he's 20 and she was reportedly 15, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but there's been online articles saying that she was 14 or that she was 15. But either way, that's just really hard to process. Now, before I go on any further, I do want to be clear. Nothing has been 100% confirmed about the cause of her death or whether David is going to be held accountable. There's still a lot of unanswered questions here. But based on what's being speculated, some people believe this could be connected to a possible gang-related situation. Now, again, that's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. That's just what I think might be the case. I don't 100% know for sure. And I'm also not saying that David was in a gang or involved in that world. But the way this case is unfolding definitely raises questions. And it kind of reminded me of another tragic story, similar but not the same, which is the case of Tara Carrera McMullen. If you don't remember, she was a young actress who played Rebound with Martin Lawrence that was released in 2005. Tara was only 16 when she was shot and killed outside of her apartment building in California because she was dating an older gang member who was about 10 years older than her, and the gunman responsible ended up getting.
This is a different environment, right?
Right, yes. And the gunman responsible ended up getting life in prison without parole. That story always stuck with me because it shows how dangerous those environments can be for young girls who get caught up with the wrong people. Now, I'm not saying this is exactly the same situation because, like I said, the investigation is still going on, but it just has that same eerie feeling, a young girl, talented girl, a questionable relationship, and an ending that no one saw coming. It's sad, it's confusing, and it leaves you wondering what really happened behind the scenes.
And, it leaves the opportunity to see justice had on her behalf. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth shall be told. And it's also kind of interesting that they indicating something gang related, because that to me sounds like a deterrence to
something
deter
just blame it on something or fall in where the chips may lay.
Right, to deter your perspective, to deter your thinking, to think gang related. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to just put it on a gang. You know what I'm saying? But no, this was some premeditated action for sure. But yeah, it's really sad, and we definitely send prayers and liberation and prosperity and blessings up to the Rivas family.
That's right.
And I just want to say this too before we move on to our next topic. I also think for parents also, not that I'm holding them responsible or anything. I think parents should also have a conversation with their children about dating, because the truth of it is dating, when it comes to like dating and being in a well, specifically being in a relationship, it's committed, and there are like green flags and there are red flags to being in a relationship. So I think a parent should have a conversation with their child about real information about when it comes to dating. You know what I mean?
And having relations with different type of people for sure, definitely. That this definitely brings up awareness for that, and those conversations should be had for sure. Thank you, nephew.
Yeah. So next we're going to talk about the feud between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Again. I know, y'all. Trust me, I'm just over this topic, as most of you probably are. Every time we think it's done, it somehow circles right back around, and we've heard it all before: the shoe incident, the rumors about Nicki talking about Cardi's kid, all of it. And I just think we're all kind of exhausted by it at this point. And honestly, I hope this is the last time we even have to bring it up. I'm not telling you the entire story from the beginning to the middle to the end. If you need a little refresher, don't worry. We'll have some links to past episodes, articles, and or videos down below in the show notes so you can catch up. But here's what's happening right now. The feud flared up again recently after Nicki made some comments about Cardi's new album, hinting that her sales numbers might not be what they seem. In response, Cardi came swinging out, and then things took a turn when Nicki allegedly brought Cardi's daughter culture into it. According to reports, Nicki made several harsh remarks online, calling the little girl names, and I'm not even going to repeat it here. Cardi, of course, clapped back, telling Nicki to keep her child's name out of her mouth. After the backlash, Nicki tried to walk things back with what people are calling a sort of apology. She called culture cute, but then added some comments about her appearance that made the whole thing feel backhanded and insincere. And that's when Cardi doubled down, saying that there was no coming back from that kind of disrespect. At this point, it feels like we're watching the same argument play out of loop, just with just with new words and a fresh layer of drama. Fans are split down the middle, some blaming Nicki for crossing the line, others saying Cardi overreacted. But either way, it's messy. What do you guys think? Do these public apologies like actually help, or does it just make things worse? And honestly, when kids get dragged into adult beef, is there ever a way to make that right?
You got to draw the line, nephew. Like,
speaking as a mother on the panel,
and yes, I'm a mother of three: a 20-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And check it out, I got kids in all stages of development, and at no stage of development, at no point is it okay for an adult to disparage or badger a child, or to have a child to be speaking on a child. Like, if you're speaking on a child, you need to be speaking on a child in an uplifting, encouraging, inspiring, prosperous way, not using the child as a pawn in your scheme of, perpetuated demise. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's unnecessary, and the kid should be off limits 1,000%. A line needs to be drawn. Like, that's a boundary that should not be crossed. Because at the end of the day and at the start of the day, those children are not necessarily able to defend themselves in the limelight and on the platforms in which they're being spoken about. It's just like they're children, so they're going to stay in children places, and culture is very young.
Yeah.
She's really a child. So, and think about this. Let's think about the children.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, she may not be exposed to it now. She may not hear it or see it now, but unfortunately, when things get put,
once on the internet, it always lives. It never dies.
There you go. And that's the point I'm making. So she may come across this one day, and that's just not cool. So definitely should keep your kids off limits.
Well,
okay, I just have.
Go ahead, nephew.
All right, I just want to say this whole Nicki Minaj and Cardi B situation is overall such a mess. Like, genuinely messy. Every time something new happens between them, it just feels more and more exhausting. And I say that as someone who actually likes both of them. I love Nicki, she's a legend, and I love Cardi. She's real and entertaining, and I don't want to like pick sides because that's just not my personality. That's just not my vibe, period. But when it comes to fields like this, it's just messy, irritating, and kind of unnecessary at this point. Now, I will say this: as I want to piggyback off what you were saying, Miss Butterfly or Nicki, not Nicki Minaj, but
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to piggyback off of what you were saying that I don't blame Cardi at all for telling culture to for telling Nicki to keep culture out of her mouth.
That's right.
Because honestly, who would react like that? Nobody wants their child being talked about, especially not by someone they're beefing with, and definitely not by strangers online. Kids should always be off limits. Like whatever's going on between two adults, that should stay between them. But if at the same time, if I'm being real, if I were a Cardi, I probably wouldn't have even respond to that so-called apology because the truth of it is sometimes silence says more than words. Because at the end of the day, if two people don't get along and aren't planning to get along anytime soon, which is clearly the case with Cardi and Nicki, then maybe the healthiest thing to do is stop trying. Don't talk to each other. Don't even mention each other. Just move the fuck on. They're both too talented and too successful to keep wasting energy on something that's never going to be resolved. It's like watching two powerhouses who could be dominating the game spend all their time
They can be
drama. And I
collaborating.
think a lot of fans are over it too. So we'd rather see both of them win than keep going back and forth.
I'd rather them have a win-win and collaborate and do a collaboration together.
Well, we see that's what started the whole damn beef in the first place. But so I think there are like two or three things I want to highlight during this whole situation. So the first things first, we can only, and not only, but Nicki Minaj is undoubtedly one of the greatest female lyricists that we have in the game.
Yes.
And undoubtedly, Cardi B is one of the most likable personalities that we like in the game. I'm not saying that Nicki Minaj is unlikable, but Nicki is like an acquired taste. Like we have our Barbs, we have our Bees, we have our Swifties, we have our, Army Girls, Rihanna's, our Navy babies, all these things, like our little Glorillas, our baby Glows, it's like everyone has their stance and we are stallions and we love everyone individually for what they contribute to the game, which is something that they individually do. And it's uncomparable to everyone else. Second, now, baby, the two dome shots. If you guys seen the movie, remember the tennis movie with Zendaya?
Mm-hmm.
What was that movie called?
Don't listen.
Well, the tennis movie.
That movie.
It was on.
Zendaya.
It was just two shots. Bow, bow. So it was just left and to the right. When Nicki said, speaking from a person without a tooth in their skull, speaking from a person without a tooth in their skull, how dare you? Everyone goes through the picket fence smile of their life until you lose all your baby teeth and all your replacements come in. And then that was so unfair to talk about culture. But when Cardi said your baby's favorite color is the number 5, I said, bitch, look.
Your baby favorite color?
Anime, eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Jackie just got slapped outside the diner, bitch. Eat the cake. Anime,
your
eat the cake.
Your favorite color is
the number 5. So. That was a mic drop. That was a mic drop. But and as you said, and as our nephew said, and as half and most of the majority of the people out there say, you should leave these kids up out of it. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. They all, both of them, got their teeth, nose, titties, and asses done. You robotic Mattel Barbie baby bitches. I'm just saying. So I mean, nobody really.
And look, about keep it real.
And I will throw my leg down. I will throw my leg down the bowling alley like a hockey puck because I can. Not only am I a member, but I'm also the fucking president. So it's just like, look. Stop it, because we can go on and on and on for days with or without bringing the kids into it. But as nephew and everyone and Miss Butterfly to the right has just said, they're too successful and too talented to go on like this. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like throwing pearls before swine,
right,
or something like that. It's like, you have so much influence and you have a greater reach, and to spew out those things is just like, girl, you kind of pissed. Poor Pookie Nana, but it's all right. We're gonna pray for them both, and them kids is all precious. We love them all. Next.
I totally agree.
Yeah, that ain't right.
Well, we got so much juicy topics in the bubble, so we're gonna move right along to our next topic, which is one for the history books. J-Lo defends Bad Bunny with "But why?" All right, Bubbles. Next up on the docket, Jennifer Lopez has stepped into the shutdown on all criticism over Bad Bunny, headlining the Super Bowl halftime show. But why? Let's unpack this. So here's what went down. During a recent appearance on Today's Show, J-Lo was asked about the backlash surrounding Bad Bunny's selection. She didn't hold back. She expressed surprise that there is criticism, saying, but why? Why is there criticism? That she doesn't really understand it. Lopez called him one of the top artists in the world. One of the top artists in the world. That's a profound statement.
Bars coming from her.
That's a profound statement.
Coming from her.
I mean, that's somebody that's been in the game for a long time. Praising how his music transcends language, he also referenced when they shared the stage back in 2020 and how that felt like a cultural moment, and said she's genuinely excited to see what he does this time around. Interesting. Some of the criticism has roots in politics and identity. Okay, you might wonder how. Trump's former advisor, Corey Ludwinski, has been vocal.
How Trump getting this?
I know. Trump is in everything, right? But
he's in the Super Bowl Kool-Aid. Proceed.
Yeah, but Bad Bunny.
The flavor is cilantro, everybody. The flavor is cilantro.
On them tacos, right? You want salsa verde or salsa rojo?
Oh,
because it's hot over here.
Mm. So what Trump?
But because basically, like it's the criticism that's rooted in politics and identity, and so basically, Trump's former advisory Corey was like, he had been vocal. And he had, and also Homeland Security, Christy Nolan, her ass, right? Mm-hmm. So both them trying to tying Bad Bunny's selection of immigration enforcement and questioning whether his choice fits for the Super Bowl, the timing of it, right? In response, Bad Bunny used his Saturday Night Live hosting slot to fire back. He made jokes, leaned into pride, and called his performance a win for his community. Okay, check it out. Here's where I want your takes, Bubble fans. Do you think J-Lo's defense helps shift the narrative at all? And do you see the criticism as genuinely about fit or is it masking something deeper, like a bias or a fear?
J-Lo out about to get popped, and she only got about 3 Tootsie Rolls left in that motherfucking canister. Now, I'm tell you like this. As I heard the whole story and all unfair, baby, this is just a whole goddamn ploy to piss Donald Trump off. They're trying to kill this man. They say his health is deteriorating. I know this is about Bad Bunny, and I know J-Lo was the headline, baby, but on the low and in your face, said without being said. They is just doing this shit to piss goddamn Donald Trump off. They trying to take him out and do something else and stir up the beans in a whole nother fashion because I don't understand. Now listen, I like Bad Bunny. I don't know what he say because I'm not bilingual, but I know him when I hear him. He is like an audio Beyonce or Jay-Z. I know Bad Bunny when I hear Bad Bunny. I don't know what the hell he's saying because I am not bilingual, but I fucks with Bad Bunny, so I'm so happy for him. But I'm trying to figure out what the hell J-Lo, old mediocre ass, talented wise, singing and shit. She busted her kneecap last time she had did the goddamn Super Bowl. She couldn't hit the mark of her 5 fucking count. So, but like I said, kudos to Bad Bunny. I know his music when I hear him, don't understand what the fuck he says. This is a ploy and a plot to take out that man that is a painted orange that lives in the color of white rice. That's all I got to say.
All right, let me just say this. My opinion on all the backlash surrounding Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl is short and simple and straight to the point. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
That's right.
And the point blank. It's that easy. Nobody's forcing anyone to tune in, and honestly, the outrage is getting corny. People forget that the Super Bowl halftime is supposed to be about celebration of music, culture, and creativity. And like Jennifer Lopez said in her interview, but why? Why all the criticism? She's right. Bad Bunny is one of the biggest artists in the world right now. His music crosses languages, borders, and generations. He's not just representing reggaeton, he's representing a whole community of people who rarely get to see themselves on the biggest stages in the world right now. So bravo to J-Lo for standing up for him. I love that she said what she said because it reminded me of her own 2020 Super Bowl performance with Shakira. Both of them being Latina artists, that show was a moment. It wasn't just like entertainment, it was empowerment. It was a reminder that Latin culture is American culture. It was bold, full of pride, and unapologetically powerful. And I really think Bad Bunny's performance is going to have that same kind of energy, maybe even a message behind it. I keep thinking back to when Kendrick Lamar performed at the Super Bowl. His show wasn't just a concert; it was a statement. It reflected what was happening in the world at that time, politically, socially, and culturally. And I have a feeling Bad Bunny will do something similar. With everything going on in the U.S. right now, especially the recent ICE raids and immigration tensions that have been making headlines these past few months. I wouldn't be surprised if he uses this stage to make people think. That's what great artists do. They make us feel something other than just performing. They reminded us what's happening beyond music. And if someone doesn't like that, they can simply turn the channel. But trying to tear them down on a moment and that means so much to millions of people, that's just noise.
I love when Nephew D on his soapbox. I know y'all hear them bubbles popping out there because that was a piece of conversation in a word. Now, moving on, let's talk about what's going on with Saturday Night Live and why Sherry Shepherd is calling this a real crisis. So, here's what's happening. Smack in the middle of season 51's premiere of SNL finds itself with no Black female in the cast because Ego Newdim, their only Black female cast member, has exited after 7 seasons. Shepard took notice immediately. She didn't sugarcoat it and she called the situation an emergency. Shepard said that when she watched the new season premiere, she felt something was missing because there was no one there to represent Black women in the cast. She pointed out that SNL has at times in the past relied on male performers or guest hosts to portray women of color in sketches, and the cast was lacking diversity. She recalled when the View sketches had no black women to play her nor Whoopi Goldberg, and they ended up casting Tracy Morgan or Kenan Thompson instead.
Bullshit, motherfucker.
What she's pushing for is an immediate action, no excuses. She says she doesn't accept that the idea that SNL can't find any black women, black female comics. She believes that they are out there doing their work in comedy clubs and improv halls, waiting for this kind of opportunity. Excuse me. She even proposed names of comedians she's worked with who she believes would bring realness and talent to the cast.
Period.
He extends some context historically, SNL, the talent to the cast. Excuse me, I reread that line backwards. Some content historically, SNL has had very few black female cast members over all of its decades-long run, only 8 in total so far. And with Ego's departure, 51 is now has 0 black women in the cast, and even as it adds 5 new cast members, none of them whom are black women.
No.
So I want to open this up to y'all. What do you think about what Sherry said? Do you agree with this as being an emergency with SNL right now, or do you think maybe they just need time to find the right person?
I mean, there's definitely a disparity. If there is 0 representation of
a black woman,
the black woman, what the black woman represents, what she brings to the table, how she's the creation of civilization, and how she bears a life. She's a life giver, and how she is not acknowledged or portrayed on a very high level syndicated show, which is SNL, is very noteworthy. Like, it's something to be aware of, and it's something to highlight. And I think Sherry Shepherd
should be casted on SNL to do their damn self.
Boom! Yes, absolutely.
How about that?
There we go.
You know,
absolutely, 100%.
Not a bad idea.
They could start a co-hosting cameo season and cast a whole bunch of black women and let a lot of have opportunities, and then, like you said, let that right one be chosen for the job at the end of the day.
Yeah, they need to just do a whole run where they do a series of black women being on the show. I mean, because you know what, they've had several black women on the show. Like, they had what's her name, Megan Thee Stallion on there.
No. So remember the woman that used to play Whitney Houston on SNL? And then remember the woman that played Kamala Davis?
Oh, no, I know. My bad.
Right? You see what I'm saying? So
we're talking about, I get it, my bad.
A comical main cast.
Right.
So look.
But they had that one chick. She was hella funny.
Speaking as a comic, right. SNL, I hope you listen how they can hear me.
Period. Semi.
I will identify as a woman to be on the cast. But this is the thing.
Something went wrong.
Oh, it did. See, God is trying to tell you something. The thing about this is, to me, is it's bigger than a black woman not being on the cast, or there not being a representation of a woman of color.
But the fact that
because if you said a woman of color, then what if she was not black and she was Indian? If you said a woman of color, what if she was not black and she was Haitian?
Right.
If she was a woman of color, if she was not black, is she, Afro-Latina?
But
let's have a real conversation.
But can I just extend our brains?
Go ahead.
We're gonna have a real conversation, because nouns can never be adjectives and adjectives can never be nouns. And the mere fact that as a people, as a culture, we are identified as black which is
right. So that's why I said,
which
yeah,
is
let's
which is wrong
broaden
in
it,
itself.
because what if it wasn't
But Black
a black
Power, though,
woman,
I feel you, know,
but
saying
she's a
Black
woman of
Panthers.
color?
Right.
Because they said, I believe the name of the woman that
So
just
that
was
does
African,
not.
correct, nephew?
So that's not inclusive. I mean, that's
The
not
cast member that
exclusive
ended up
to
leaving.
a quote unquote Black woman. As
And I get
the
it.
way in which you're talking about it
Okay,
right now.
and then I'm totally with Sherry, and I totally understand it. But then, okay, look at Sherry. Sherry Shepherd was blessed to have the Wendy Williams slot. It's not the William Williams show; it's the Sherry Shepherd show. She is doing
Right,
great, beautiful, wonderful things.
because
So
for the rest of that
she
final,
she was given that opportunity, that chance. That was great. Now they said they added 5 more cast member, right? But they didn't go into specifics of what were their nationalities. Are they Asian? Are they Jewish? Or are they Guatemalan or whatever? You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, but let's add. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it always. I understand about it being a black woman specifically, but is there a woman of color at all on there? Because at this point, we're going to have to take an Asian woman, a little yellow thing.
But you
see
know what?
I'm saying?
That's even more like we need to look at both of those. Like, is it quote unquote, you know, since we're using that language, a Black woman, representation of a Black woman, and then quote unquote when they say a woman of color, because that's more extensive when we say a woman of color versus
Well,
quote unquote a Black
I'll
woman.
repeat. SNL, holla back, holla if you hear me. They could pass out and do and have several black comedians, women work and do sketch things. It's during alpha seasons on the episode. And if they pick one, to be fair and honest and all those things.
And they need to highlight the concierge, so you can manage that.
I can do it. I can do it. But yeah, you know, I think there's always a solution, and
the butterfly can dress their mess.
I can't wait to be on SNL. I can't wait.
you know, I truly believe, you know, inclusion and representation are extremely paramount, like not just in entertainment, but in every industry. Because when you don't have like diverse voices at the table, the truth of it is you're missing out on real stories and real perspectives and real talent that could change the entire game. And and that's why I completely understand why people, including Sherry Shepard, are basically the calling out the lack of diversity at SNL. It's not just about checking a box or filling a quota. It's about visibility, opportunity, and fairness. Because if you look at the show that's been on the air for decades, and you still see that certain groups are barely representative, that says something, and not in a good way. I think it's ridiculous that in 2025 we're still having the same conversation, not on the subject, because I think it should be touched upon. But there are so many incredibly talented comedians, writers, and performers of color who are being overlooked, not because they aren't good enough, but because the system just isn't built to make space for them.
That's
And
right.
and that what makes this frustrating because representation isn't just about diversity for shows. It's about opening doors for the next generation to see themselves in places they've never been before. So when people of color don't get these opportunities, we're sending a message, whether intentional or not, and that their voices does not matter as much, and that's not okay. So yeah, calling this out is important because silence keeps things the same. And I respect Sherry Shepherd spoke up, and I think it's something every major platform should, not just SNL, need to start taking serious with this.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, next up, here's something that's been stirring up real emotion. Zelda Williams, the daughter of the late Robin Williams, is asking people to stop sending her AI generated videos of her father. In a heartfelt Instagram story, Zelda made it clear she does not want to see these digital recreations. She described them as a disgusting, overprocessed hot dogs and said that they're disrespectful to his memory, adding that Robin wouldn't have approved of this kind of portrayal. She said sending these clips is a waste of time and energy. indirectly appealed to fans. If you got any decency, just stop doing this to him and to me. It's not what he would want. Zelda also pushed back on the idea that such an AI videos are artistic or tribute. She, on the other idea, excuse me, she argued that they reduce real life to shadow simulations and exploit the legacies of actual people. She noted that these videos often just mimic likenesses without consent or the public's willingness to consume them is troubling. It's not the first time she's spoken out on this issue either. Back in 2023, and this is such a shame that Robin Williams was such a great to us, during the SAG-AFTRA strike debate around AI, she publicly opposed using her father's voice without permission and warned that an unchecked AI recreation could do to art and performance. Okay, I want your thought on this and really think about this for a moment. Do you think there should be stronger rules or protections against AI recreations of deceased people? Or is this just a part of technology evolving and we have new boundaries?
You know, one part of artificial intelligence that I'm completely against, and I mean completely, is when it's used to replace real creative people. I'm talking about actors, dancers, choreographers, creative directors, all those people who are bringing art to life. Because when you think about it, art isn't just a movement or words on a page. It's emotion, connection, humanity. You can't teach a computer how to feel. You can't program passion or creativity, no matter how advanced the tech gets. And I say that because this actually hits home for me personally. At my alma mater, there's a dance union right now that recently called out the administration for trying to use AI in place of dancers and choreographers. I majored in theater, so I spent a lot of time around the theater and dance department. And I remembered when they started getting hit with budget cuts back in 2022, maybe before then. But from what I know, one of the reasons behind those cuts was the school wanting to experiment with AI generated choreography, which to me is just wild. Dance is a human art form. It's storytelling through movement, and replacing that with code and algorithm completely takes away the heart of what makes it so special. And as far as for Zelda Williams, I totally understand where she's coming from. She when she asked people to stop sending her those AI videos of her dad, Robin Williams. And I don't know if those videos are meant to be tribute or if they show something darker. And honestly, I don't even want to know. That's her father at the end of the day, and that's her family. And she's already been through enough. Robin Williams brought so much love, laughter, and light into the world. And that man was a legend. And using this image without consent, especially through AI, is just so disrespectful. It's not a tribute, it's exploitation. And I really want to stress this to anyone listening. If you ever come across one of the AI videos of Robin Williams, especially one that's negative or just doesn't fit right, I urge you all to report them because honestly, it's disgusting that anyone would even have the audacity to make something like that. And think about it. What if one day Zelda has kids and they end up seeing those fake videos of her grandfather online? That's something no one should ever have to go through.
This is making me think, oh, hell no. This is starting to make me think that AI in some fashions, such as this one, is like cyberbullying. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of abusive. You see what I'm saying? Like this man, may he rest in peace. So this would be just like if someone started doing like really cryptic, crazy things with like Michael Jackson and Prince videos and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like these people are so much more. Yeah, like you have to respect people in their passing. You know, it's just like how it seemed for a long time, not to switch subject or celebrities, but it seemed like a long time for like Whitney to be gone, for her to rest. It was just so much speculation, so much, right? So, you know, it's just kind of like, harsh because these people aren't even here. And unlike Whitney, you know, she lost Bobby Christina, and Bobby Christina went through the same things. I would say to a certain extent because AI was not out or was not as where it is now, because that's what the question was. Is this a part of AI evolving, right? Um, you know, we lost Bobby Christina. And so, you know, God forbid that we would lose Robin Williams' daughter for any reason, but it still remains that this is kind of intrusive on someone who is no longer here. You know, you're not supposed to speak wrongfully of the dead, morally speaking, right? But at the same time, you should not kind of engage in maybe what is corrupt activity with people who have passed on. We have to respect the dead. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
So yeah, but like I said in the beginning, it takes me to a place of thinking
But
about
also respect the
cyberbullying.
living, also because it's
That's her
affecting the
dad.
daughter.
Yeah.
But it's also affecting her, you know, directly and indirectly. So we have to consider that. Like, imagine she's an adult, but imagine this is happening to a child, like somebody who has a younger child. You know what I'm saying? That passed away. So it's just like it's the same thing. You still have to hold space in that same way, I believe.
That's not right. That's not fair. We're going to send prayers up and much condolences and celebration of life to Mr. Robin Williams, and you know, and a humble heart and some peace, Zelda Williams as well.
All right, y'all. We're continuing our celebration of Hispanic and Heritage Month, and today we're shining a well-deserved spotlight on a true legend in comedy and television, known for his projects like his self-titled sitcom, Lopez vs. Lopez, Beverly Hills Chihuahua, and Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm, of course, talking about George Lopez.
If you grew up watching sitcoms in the early 2000s, then you definitely remember the George Lopez show. That Lowrider theme song, that late night reruns, and all those hilarious family moments, and still hold up today. But beyond the comedy, George has always used his platform to tell real, authentic stories about family, culture, and identity. Stories that made so many people feel unseen. He broke barriers as one of the first Mexican-American comedians to lead a primetime network sitcom, and he's never been afraid to speak about representation in Hollywood, immigration, and the importance of cultural pride. Though his stand-up acting and producing, he's brought humor into serious conversations while still honoring his roots. And even after all these years, George is still doing his thing. His new series, Lopez versus Lopez, co-created with his daughter Mayan Lopez, continues that legacy by tackling modern life situations and family life, just in general, generational gaps and cultural identity, with the same wit and heart we've always loved him for. Judge George Lopez. All right, everyone, we're back, Bubble fans, and it is time for one of my favorite parts of the show. Our next segment, Throwback Topic, formerly known as Beyond the Blog. Now, if you're new here, this is the part of the Bubble Chat where we go back in time and talk about stories, moments, or pop culture events that happened before podcasts even existed. It's basically our way of revisiting the things that made headlines way back in the day, the ones that had everyone talking and giving them the bubble chat twist. We love doing this segment because it is a mix of nostalgia, curiosity, and perspective. You'll be surprised how some of those old stories connect to things happening today, whether it's something from the early 2000s, a celebrity moment that went viral before social media was even a thing, or perhaps a topic that people still can't stop debating. We're bringing it back. But always with a fresh twist, with a fresh lens. All right, y'all. What's our throwback topic for today? I'm ready for this one. Let's get into it.
All right, bubblers. So today we're revisiting a powerful moment when Amara La Negra, known for being in Love and Hip Hop Miami, I think, pushed back hard against Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy, schooling them on colorism in the Afro Latina community. Here's what went down. Amada appeared on The Breakfast Club, and during the conversation, Charlamagne and DJ Envy challenged her claims of colorism. At one point, Charlamagne even asked Amada, "Are you sure it's not in your mind?" And DJ Envy questioned whether there is any colorism in the Latinx community, even asking if she thinks Cardi B has a lighter complexion than hers. Amada responded with grace and clarity, and she explained that her experience as a dark skinned Afro Latina has included doors being closed because of how she looks. She described being rejected from casting calls where agents said they would not cast a dark woman unless she played a gangster or prostitute. She also pushed back against the idea that anyone should have to prove their experience or change what their appearance to be accepted. Okay, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think was going on with Charlamagne and DJV? Ignorance, denial, or just misunderstanding? And how much responsibility do media platforms have in lifting up the voices of Afro Latina so they're not forced to defend their own existence on air?
Wow, that's a complex, packed question with a lot of needed thought, to reflect on such a heavy topic where we're talking about inclusiveness, people feeling included in regards to their identity and their culture. Um, I'm not going to speak on the Charlemagne conversation with the other person, but I'm more so speaking on the need for inclusiveness and how that representation can take place. And it's a simple acknowledgement and it's a choice. So um, we have to be inclusive, especially when we're sharing platforms with people of all different cultures, you know what I'm saying? And the best way to learn is through inquiry. You just ask questions, you know? You don't assume anything. You ask questions to learn and you listen to learn. But so what do you think?
I mean, like, oh Lord have mercy. One band, one goddamn sound. If somebody comes slice me with a razor, cut somebody with a machete, or even hit somebody with a switchblade, baby, we all gonna shed the same blood. And guess what? Some of us are the same fucking blood type.
Boom. What's your blood type?
There it is. I don't know.
Are you?
But it might be. But I may have the same blood in my body as an Asian or Afro Latina or Guatemalanian or a Selecanese person.
Period. No, so, semi. Because period ends things. Semi. Right. Semicolon continues. We want to continue that. But you see what I'm saying?
So it's just like what more should we say? Why should we not recognize one person over the other, one culture, one ethnicity? Like, I love you, nephew. Recognizing, we do Latino Heritage Month. We've done Pacific Islander Month. Yes. We've done Asian Month. You are very, very woke, very conscious, and
we've also
very,
done
very open. Recognizing, yes.
Juneteenth,
it's like, you're very, very good at representing and acknowledging, all creeds and creations of the earth. And, we should all be able to embrace and do that. I don't know why would it be hard to celebrate us as not like a political, no, you can't see that. You got to answer the questions. It's like it shouldn't be political. It shouldn't be religious. It should be personal. So What you feel about it, nephew?
Stimmy.
I think Amara said what she need to say. That's all I can say.
Well, look, okay, called Flash Ask. I'm gonna ask you some questions and just give me an answer. No answer is correct. Is that okay? There's no right or wrong answer. Have you ever thrown a party for a pet?
Have I ever what?
Have you ever thrown a party for a pet?
No.
No.
All right. Would you live on the streets as a homeless person for 1 year to triple your salary the next?
No.
Oh, I would.
To triple my salary, I'm gonna triple my salary regardless.
Well, say that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be the richest motherfucking homeless person out there. How about that?
I mean, you know,
flip that, and then I'm gonna get that on the back.
It says to live on the street, but like it's different ways to live on the street. So
I documented.
So you know what? It wasn't specific how you live on the street. So yeah, actually, yep, I will do that because I'm real creative about it. Absolutely, 1000%.
Have you ever thrown a party that got shut down by the cops, or been to a party that was shut down by the cops?
I've been to a party where the cops.
You had looking at me. Oh yeah,
yeah. It was in my third year of college. One of my roommates was having was celebrating his birthday, so there was like a party, and I don't think it was the cops that shut it down, but it was more so of like the people in charge of on campus housing that had to like put the party to an end. So yeah, only once though.
Would you?
I think I'll say that they car made them like it complimented them.
Mm-hmm. It's not the car; it's a whole full package with the person.
Yes,
the car and all that.
exactly. Not specifically the car, but definitely the car was like, okay, you looking good in that car.
Okay, what about you, nephew?
What was the
question?
Are
you an automobile? Are you an automobile gold digger?
No.
Okay. All right. Would you sell out your family or friends for fame?
Wait, say that again?
Would you sell out your family or friends for fame? It's got to be only one person.
What kind of question is that?
It depends on who it is. It's all my friends were my friends.
See, let me tell you.
All my friends were never my friends.
Listen, I think but did it say family or friends?
It said family or friends. Like you have an option.
Okay, so we just not going to even include.
Because include this or Clarissa from the 4th grade.
Look, we're not going to even consider family. But now, P-Gang, if we did consider family, let me tell you, I'm going to be creative, right? See, now, me and my family, we so tight, right? And we going to read between the lines without even, you know what I'm saying? We're going to bust a move where it's a win-win situation if you can read between the lines. You feel what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's just what we're going to do. So,
okay. Now, this is a very, very tricky question. For $1 million, would you not bathe or shower for a year?
No.
Well, guess what? My mind is just so, I just love how resourceful and clever my mind is.
Yes.
For $1 million? Absolutely, because I can watch rather taking a shower. Bad, like what the fuck? Give me that $1 million. Listen, run it to me twice. I'm gonna show you how to do this. Okay.
Would you shave your eyes off right now for $1,000?
My eyebrows or my eyes?
Eyebrows.
I mean, what the fuck? You can get this shit drawn on.
Well, that's easy for a girl.
I'm only doing one eyebrow.
That's easy for a girl.
What's the question?
Would you shave your eyebrows for $1,000 right now?
Yes.
You sound like the best college kid, the college graduate ever.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. Well, could you, if you could, would you like to have a sugar mama or a sugar daddy?
Neither. I'm not ready to mingle, motherfucker.
I would. I would like a sugar daddy and a sugar mama. I would like some
Period.
sugar parents.
I want some sugar parents.
I would be a cavity kid. All right. So, do you believe your parents are disappointed in you? No.
No. Absolutely not.
Have you ever played strip poker before?
No.
You
Only
should
on Uno.
say yes. You say
Y'all was stripping fast, ain't it?
for real.
They're playing Uno. Y'all was stripping fast.
That is the end of fast ask. You know what? Get that albacore tuna out my face, nephew. Please. Always starting some shit with your damn Taylor Swift. She looked cute though. I seen a interview or a segment on Entertainment or Extra, and they were talking about her video and all this and all that, and she looked cute. The picture that I saw, she looked nice. I don't know about the music, but the picture was alright. I give it that. Go ahead, take us home, Nicki.
I know you're taking us home.
I'm taking us home because
Nicki is.
See, you don't get my hopes up because I had already got comfortable with giving her the mic to do it because I be feeling like Mr. Rogers closing out the show.
Well, there was actually, you know what I'm saying, whoop-de whoop-de whoop whoop whoop, right? Wow, man. You see that? But anyway, y'all, it has been some juicy topics taking place here at the Bubble. And that is going to wrap it up for us today, y'all. This episode of the Bubble Chat, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and spending time with us today. If you enjoyed the conversation, make sure you follow and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Don't forget, you can check us out and all the links, the sources, and past episodes mentioned today down in the show notes. Showtime in the show notes. We love hearing from you. So hit us up on social media, of course, and let us know your thoughts on today's topic. It was a lot of topics. Weigh in. We might even feature some of your comments in the next episode. So feel free to lay it all out on the table. Until next time, keep your energy positive, keep it popping, positive on purpose, keep your minds open, and keep the conversation bubbling. This has been the Bubble Chat. We will see you next time. Peace, liberation, and prosperity.
Bye, bubblers.
Taking place here at the Bubble. And that is going to wrap it up for us today, y'all. This episode of the Bubble Chat, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and spending time with us today. If you enjoyed the conversation, make sure you follow and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Don't forget, you can check us out and all the links, the sources, and past episodes mentioned today down in the show notes. Showtime in the show notes. We love hearing from you. So hit us up on social media, of course, and let us know your thoughts on today's topic. It was a lot of topics. Weigh in. We might even feature some of your comments in the next episode. So feel free to lay it all out on the table. Until next time, keep your energy positive, keep it popping, positive on purpose, keep your minds open, and keep the conversation bubbling. This has been the Bubble Chat. We will see you next time. Peace, liberation, and prosperity.
Bye, bubblers.